get your torches ready. We got a Viking funeral that we gotta light and set off for Tokiyuki Hojo from Yusei Matsui's Elusive Samurai, which just completed its 238 chapter run.
Hell of a run.
This is his longest series in Shonen Jump to date.
Assassination Classroom fame.
Assassination Classroom and Neuro, the investigator or something, or Neuro, the psychic investigator or something like that. All three of which are series that were lasted over 150 chapters.
He's a hit maker. He's just killing it.
Very rare to have 3 hits of this magnitude in Shonen Jump specifically. It's rare to have 2, basically unknown to have 3. I just wanted to take some time to just kind of just talk in general about Elusive Samurai, because it's one of these series. It's great. I love it, but I don't necessarily know if we'll do an arc review or go beat by beat. You
just want to give it its flowers as it's ending.
I just want to give it its flowers, make sure that we say something about it, and just do a little coverage on it. Tom, Elusive Samurai basically is an historical fiction story that basically follows the entire life and death of Tokiyuki Hojo, who was a son of the Kamakura shogunate, who gets overthrown by Takayuji Ashikaga in his clan, and basically he's on the run his entire life, basically, and he's hence the name Elusive Samurai. The series, this was one, so as people know who've been listening to the 100 Amp, I'm trying to catch up on every single currently running series in Shonen Jump. Reading this started as a part of that journey. And I got to be honest with you, Tom, it took a few tries to get in on Elusive Samurai. I read the first 6 or 7 chapters probably 4 or 5 different times before I really stuck with it and continued with the story. I think I think it's because it is a historical fiction. It starts when he's 8 years old and it ends when he's about 28. So we follow about 20 years of his whole life. And when we're introduced to his early group of retainers and we don't really know that much about them, they're not that compelling off the rip. So you're not super into the party, like the Dragon Quest party, you're not that into. And it's a little hard to follow. And he's just kind of preparing for war, basically, for the first 50 chapters. So it's a little bit of a slow go. But then an event in an arc called the Naka Sendai War happens, the ruler in between war happens, which is when we get into the real meat and potatoes of what makes Elusive Samurai special, which is the battles. And I'm not talking Luffy versus Kizaru, Luffy versus Lucci. No. I'm talking this army versus this army and all the tactics that go into that. There's a couple of major campaigns throughout the story, the Naka Sendai War, then there's an intermission, and then we have another 70, 80 chapter campaign. Both of that, I would say, are the strongest arcs in the story. When we're not in an immediate battle, it's not as good. But I found the storytelling really compelling, and I found Matsui's take on history to be very inspired in how, the way he draws the character, he draws the personality or what we know about these historical figures into the characters. So, for example, there's this character named, I think his name's Sadamune or something like that. He's an incredible archer. So in the story, he's drawn with bulging eyes all the time. They're bulging out. Or there's this guy he's known for really great, for being able to hear really well. He's drawn with really big ears. Or alternatively, there's a character who does human experimentations. He's drawn with elf ears and pitch black eyes because he experiments on people. He's a demon. So it takes these drawings to be very literal. It doesn't. It features supernatural elements in a light tertiary way, but it's not. It shows it to be like these are historical figure people. These are historical figures who are larger than life and are drawn and shown as such. Tom, do you know like anything about like Elusive Samurai? Did you watch any of the first season of the anime that came out last year?
I know. You know what? All I know about it is specifically from you in your many Discord calls that were very much like this podcast, where you got pitched. You said of like it's a real slow goer up front, and then but you it pays off. Like it takes a while to build up, but it pays off with the fights in the midsection of the manga. But other than that, I don't really know too much. I've always been interested in Assassination Classroom. It's
amazing. I've both
different...
read and seen the first half of it, or like first 100 chapters. Like or so.
That's more of a comedy, like action, but like gag school. Manga.
Very heavy on the comedy and action,
and this is like so different. And kudos, but I don't have much to say other than I mean. I like that the historical fiction aspect of it grounds it a bit in that. No, I like Japanese history, so I like that. I feel like it'd be interesting.
And not only does it ground it very fun, and what's great is there's these many great moments in Elusive Samurai where the narrator just kind of takes over and just kind of it puts into context what you're seeing. There's this really amazing battle where Tokiyuki's gang is attacking an enemy army encampment with rocks, and there's a great speech about rocks and throwing rocks and how rocks killed more people than swords and how rocks are way more prolific in swords, and why don't we see rocks?
Great. That's fantastic.
And there's great, and it's like, why don't we see rocks? And then you flip the page and it's just a face of some guy getting smashed in because they're disgraceful. Like and it's just a great moment like that, and you just see these explanations of stuff, or like and it talks about like beheadings and like there's a great scene where Tokiyuki doesn't want to take his like first win. He doesn't want to take his head, and his one of his like for his kind of right hand guy Fubuki, who's like his lead strategist in the first part of the story, is like, no, you're taking it, dude. You got to show them that where you mean business, and this is how you do things. So yeah, and the narration gets into that, and then they also in the narration also sort of pontificates on what these people and what these historical figures, what they would look like today if they were born today. They would be, at like, oh, this person with this cunning and stuff would probably be a modern day politician, or would probably be a CEO with how he ran the shogunate or whatever. So it puts it in perspective for you. There's specifically, and I'll spoil this, so if you guys don't want to hear any spoilers for the series, you can go and read. I think you should go and read it. Again, this was not meant to be an extensive segment of discussing it. I just wanted to,
you're feeling a certain way about it, right?
I just wanted to pay. I had this manga had a really special place in the magazine for me. And
what is the magazine losing with this going away?
There's nothing that has been like this in the magazine that's been anywhere close. There's nothing that's big scale, multi-factor army battle. So there's like Bugle Call, Song of War, which is a Shueisha adjacent series, but it's not in Shonen Jump. So the weekly magazine, it'll lose its historical fiction. It's a classic, Japanese 1300s era aesthetic in series. It loses a fucking veteran author who's just consistently churned out hits. And I mean, again, this is his third one he's done. Who knows if he'll come back for number 4, or if fourth one will be a hit as well, So I'd say that's definitely what they lose off the rip, and it was a great little story, and I think like there's like two moments where I feel like the the beauty of what it is. And again, spoilers, but fuck it. This sometimes I think spoilers can get you to read it. Probably the two greatest moments that I still think about from Elusive Samurai is nearing the end of the second major campaign. They are up against the right hand man of Takayuji, and they surround him, and it's a they surround him, and it looks like they basically got him, and they won it. And the narrator is explaining that they won, and you flip the page, and the narration box from the previous page is literal stomped on and stepped out by the villain Takayuji, who says, "I have come to change history." Because that's what happened. And because Takayuji historically in the real world, there's just a lot of shit with him that's hard to explain from a historical perspective. Situations that he was in that he got out of that should not make sense for him to get out of. And he's extremely lucky, and he's essentially an extremely lucky guy. In Elusive Samurai, they explain it that there is a being, a spiritual being in Takayuji that is basically giving him luck, and that he just cannot be fucking killed because he's just he's got a luck demon in him. So even when they counter his right hand guy, and they give a great explanation of like again, you get the euphoria of like the good guys winning in an explanation of how we won, only to get brought back to true reality. And then that's moment one. That was like amazing, phenomenal, just blew me away. The other is with a group of villains that we also fight, I believe, during the same campaign. Who these are great because these villains, they were in the first major war, defeated but not dead. So they come back for round two, and then in round two, they start dying off. And we get to kind of the last guy in this group, and he kind of has a 1v1 with Tokiyuki. And in this point in the story, like Tokiyuki actually doing a 1v1 is like, oh my God, he's fighting by himself because he's the Elusive Samurai, right? He's not getting in the ring by himself. He's dodging and making openings for his retainers to kill and to get the wins. Which is like what makes him fun. Again, very classic modern shonen trope of the main character's the support role, and not attack dude, not punch good guy. So he's finally in this 1v1, and he ends up, beating the villain, and it flashes to the villain in a alternate reality that's like in the modern day, and it's him as a Japanese high school student with the other group of villains who are basically the age they were in the story. And it's basically telling you, it's like, hey, these are like, this was a 16-year-old, 17-year-old, 18-year-old, 19-year-old who are like in this war as a general, right, like doing all this horrible shit. And like, if they were born today, like this is kind of the life they would have had. I cried, dude. I actually cried.
But it's true. That's just how it was. Yeah, it's crazy.
And it's like, oh, the guy who was like the guy who was obsessed with horses, who wore a horse mask. He was a freak. He was amazing on horseback. Yeah, like, oh, in modern times, he would have been a veterinarian. He was going to a college to be a veterinarian, And it's like, it gives you just reframe. It takes a second to like really reframe the whole story.
We're not celebrating war here.
These were real people. And I love, and in the ending of I think the end message that Matsui leaves you on is that like the Tokiyuki in his final moments, because I don't know if you know this, Tokiyuki Ojo died in real life.
Well, no, I thought he was still alive.
He died. I won't tell you how. And to be honest, I want to give myself credit. I did not spoil myself on the story. I didn't go to Wikipedia and spoil shit.
Oh, like what happened?
Yeah, I didn't look what happened.
Yeah, no, I like this. Yeah, go ahead.
And there's a great line where he's like, basically he's like, the people who had the most fun in life are the winners. And like it's like, you know, because like Tokiyuki Hojo is a character when you reflect back on history in some ways, who is a loser, who kind of is a loser, who lost the Naka Sendai War, losing the Naka Sendai War, loses another campaign, is in hiding basically his entire life for the most part, yet was still able to live in kind of persist on even today. His ancestors are still around today. And on the reverse end, how Takeuchi, the villain of his story, is kind of looked at through the lens of history as a hero and a legend who just like, kind of like what George Washington is to us Americans, just totally changed the fucking game, you know? Yeah. But do we really know like who he was really?
Yeah. How did the British feel about George
Washington? Exactly. You know, so it's like, it's I bet they really felt that he was awesome when on Christmas night they snuck in and killed all their guys in the middle of the night. Like, I bet they felt really awesome about that. So it's like one of those things where it's like history is all about your perspective and
right, the winners, right,
and everything. It's that's sort of what Tokiyuki leaves on, and then what the narrator kind of leaves us on in the last chapter. And I want to pull up the exact quote because I don't want to paraphrase, because I thought it was quite poignant. Also, by the way, I just want to say I love 29 pages for the last chapter. Thank you, Shueisha. Thank you for that. I appreciate getting to spend a few extra pages with my guys. And let me find it. Truly riveting content for the whole gang. Also, he goes to. There's a great bit, by the way, for in the last chapter because they're just spoiling shit now. He dies. You know, he dies. It's historical about his life. He dies, gang. I don't know if you get that. I don't know if you knew this. He dies. Well, he dies and he goes to hell, and he's like, he's like, well, we did kill people. Lots. And then a previous character from who they knew before in life is like, don't worry about it. If you eat anything or step on an ant, you go to hell. So everyone is here, and the only one who made it to heaven are microorganisms, and it's basically a fucking swamp now.
That's a funny little bit to it, yeah.
So yeah, we learned that like Genghis Khan and basically all of history is like meshed together, and like Genghis Khan and all of them are warmongering against like the demons. And it's a very
this
good.
Is a very elusive panel.
Yeah, elusive.
For you.
Fucking trying to. I couldn't find exactly where it was, but I found it.
Okay.
And it's basically just kind of going over everything that he left himself with: having children, falling in love, working, hanging out with friends, shopping, just living life. All human activity feeds the flow of history. History is not only for the winners. Merely by going about their lives, all of humanity influences the future. And that's the message of fucking Elusive Samurai. I think that kind of sums it up, is that every individual plays their own little role and has their own little piece in the ever turning cogs of time. And everyone plays a role, and that goes for not just Tokiyuki, not just his retainers, but everyone.
The powerful play goes on, and you may contribute a verse. Walt Whitman.
Yeah, go. So go out there, live your life. Go shop, fall in love, have some friends, play some games, watch our show, and check out Elusive Samurai if you think it sounds interesting.
Yeah, thanks for watching the show because you change history every view.
You do. So yeah,
stay authentic.
I'll just end with this. It's a little hard as an English speaking manga reader who keeps up on the contemporary week-to-week series that are not your big A-S tier bangers that everyone is familiar with. You know, your JJKs and your One Pieces and all this. not a huge audience for this series here in the States. And because of its historical, it's so about Japanese history. It's about an era. It's the 1330s, an era, 1330s, 1350s, an era of Japanese history. It's not the Edo. It's not Nobunaga. It's not the eras that we're kind of familiar with here in the West. I really urge you, if you like history, if you like classic battle shit, check it out. Give it a read. Stick with it for the first 40, 50 chapters. I know it's a little bit,
So
it's a little bit on the source. And I don't think it's horrible. But I'm thinking it's like a 6 out of 10. It's like a 6 out of 10. And then you get to like a 9 out of 10 for like a 150 chapter stretch. So
okay.
Overall, I'd say it's great. I love it. And great job to finish it. And then one last thing, Tom.
One more thing.
I'd be so remiss if I didn't bring it up. A little bit of drama to end it off. So this Matsui Sensei finishes his story, and as is tradition every week in Shonen Jump, we get weekly author comments from everyone who has a series in the magazine that day. Every single author gives their congratulations in their author comment. They dedicate their author comment to saying, "Congratulations, Matsui Sensei." The artist, I believe, the artist or the writer for Akane Banashi was like, "I love speaking with you at the New Year's party. Thank you for your advice. I still think about it." Hokozono Sensei Kagurabachi was like, "Congratulations, 3 series is unbelievable in Jump." Everyone but fucking Ichiro Oda says this congratulations. Oda's like, really enjoyed the P-Rock show I saw this week. Didn't say anything. What a piece of shit. He's such a piece of shit for that.
He's above us.
He's such a piece of shit for that. Come on. Give him some love.
No.
That's ridiculous.
That's that senpai stuff there, I'm sure.
That's ridiculous. He's been this is not some dweeb. This is not his first multi-pick. How many series has Oda finished in
Let's not even. How dare you? We have to end this episode.
Love One Piece. Love One Piece.
No, this is disaster.
You can't say congratulations. You can't say congratulations. Everyone else says congratulations. You can't come down from your high horse for 2 seconds.
The Shinichi does not bow to the Zenza.
Futatsume, at least.
You're right.
At least.
You're right.
At least. No, he's a fucking Shinichi too, dude. You can't have 3 series. that are 150 plus chapters.
Oda runs the school, okay? Oda runs it. His name it's One Piece. I'm not as offended as you are.
You can't
because it's Japanese culture. They never give credit if they're older or above, or they doing it longer. That's just how it is.
No, just like a little something, just a little something. You had to talk about the fucking. I should have had the exact quote up.
He's He's a very unserious guy in his comments to the reader and stuff. Though he never takes a beat to actually say something serious.
I'd like to find when's the last time he acknowledged any other thing in the other thing in the magazine.
I would be on your side if he typically does, and this time he didn't. But if he never does, that's just Oda.
It makes me think because what I need to know is did he do it for My Hero? Did he say anything? I need to go back.
Well, then give us an update next week.
We're gonna do the topic on this. We're gonna do a topic on this.
Is Oda a piece of shit? Let me know. Sam. Bring it back. Go and do some research. Go. I'll find the final Jump, whatever. Go back for a few and let me know. I bet he's never done it.
I'll find the most prominent series. The most prominent series.
Yeah, unless they're older than him, I bet he's never done it. So
because I'm pretty sure. Because here's the thing. I'm pretty
sure Toriyama. I'm sure he like says something about that or what. I don't know if that's in Jump, but like
and like I'm not, because I'm sure he said he's definitely gave it. I mean, One Piece got a whole ass panel for Naruto ending. He did a whole ass art color spread for Naruto ending in One Piece.
That's what I'm saying.
So that's like, I know he definitely did it for Naruto, but I need to go through and see if he like, and maybe for Kochi Kame, he definitely probably, for when Kochi Kame ended in like 2016, probably had an author comment for
this
that.
is absurd. This is absurd. Go, yeah.
I just
do some research. I don't want to hear another word. Do some research. Come back.
I'll come back with some evidence.
And then
I'll come back.
I can be convinced, Sam, that this is. But right now, I'm on the side of like whatever.
I'd be more whatever if not every other person in the magazine did it. Like,
the magazine's got a lot of young pups in it though right now.
But like Kenichiro Shirahara, who also has as a multi-hit vet, was like had plenty of nice things to say. My goat, Kenichiro Shirahara, plenty of great things to say.